new band.
It's the Sunday Soak, baby. Powered by Cork and Carry at the park. We will be at Cork at the park on June 17th for a live show starting at 5 o'clock. We're going to do a live show, and then we're going to go over to the game. So we'll all head over together. Be giving away some tickets on the way up to that game for that one. So there's one out there right now. You can retweet and try and get some tickets.
And it's my birthday. So there are going to be some drink specials. If you want to buy the beef up a shot, you're more than welcome to. We'll be giving away White Sox stuff. We'll be handing out raffle tickets like we've done before. As Treasy mentioned, live show. And then we go for $5 Tuesday, Sox Park.
And we got a special guest today.
We are in the missing My Sox Summer formation. Filling in for him is Josh Nelson from Sox King. Josh, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. I got the nice pride flag. Happy Pride Month.
We couldn't find a good spot to put it. Josh said, I'll put it right in my skull, and we're ready to go. We'll line it up. So we're going to break a little form. The normal way we've been doing the Sunday Soak. We've been having some topics or whatever, but we pushed it out to you guys, the fans. We've got questions. I've got 10 questions loaded up. Treasy, Josh Nelson, you guys ready for these questions?
Let's go.
Let's hit them.
Great questions. Great question.
Question number 1 is from the Fetal Pig. And the Fetal Pig says, my man Joshua Palacios is mic'd up tonight. That was last night's game. They had them all mic'd up. Which fan from the 108 should be mic'd up? Treasy, I'll let you start.
So, there's I think there's people who think that there's obvious answers to this, like Wally or My Sox Summer, because they're so talkative and everything. But the problem is, Beef, edibles. Edibles are the problem.
Hi, My Sox Summer. Hi, Wally Money.
It would just seem, it would be it would be like when the Sox would go do something really terrible and Hawk was just silent for you get innings of that.
Absolutely.
Low key guy who should have it. Aloha, Mr. Hand.
He's got a lot to say about everything.
He's got a lot to say, and if the Sox are doing poorly, he's very, very boisterous with his opinion. So I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, no, I think I kind of like that call. And also, he is generally during the game talking shit to just about all of us. He'll get into a conversation, breaking balls with about every single person in the section. And so I think that is good fodder, too. My original thought was Gabriel Bearstown, but I think the FCC would crash that thing in no time. You got, Gabriel, he's a nice kid, but he gets a little emotional. It's like the wine makes me emotional. The White Sox make him emotional. Tracy. It's got some problems there.
A little emotional.
Un poquito. Josh, who do you think? Who is on your mind that we could mic up?
So I did think of Wally because I need the world to experience what we unfortunately have to experience. It's one of those, if we have to suffer through this, you should be able to suffer through this. With my wild card, they don't show up as often.
Yeah.
But a Celeste and Roxy dual mic situation. Celeste is one of the biggest trash talkers.
Really?
Not just about people on the field, but people within the stand. So if you're looking for a comedy
That's my favorite kind of trash talk. People that we know.
Yes.
The problem is that Celeste has left the White Sox and latched on to the great organization of the Baltimore Orioles. That's too bad. That's too bad.
I've long wondered if the Sox fans that went over to the Orioles when everything was going down, if their White Sox stench has driven down the Orioles. I don't know. I might write a book about it and see if that is the case. But all right, next up is a longtime guy, Jerry O'Sullivan. And Jerry O'Sullivan says, guys, over under 4.5 baubles that MSS collects from people who forget to take them home tomorrow.
Now let's start with something here though. So he's talking about the Ray Durham Sunday bobblehead.
Correct.
Only 7,500.
That's right.
So it's gonna be difficult for him to find a lot of them. Now, my question to the group is, will he have his kids with him? Because if so, they'll steal at least 5.
I got a little inside intel. I was talking to My Sox Summer about his strategy for the bobble. I think the plan is get the whole fam out there early, go through the gates several times to gather up all their bobbles. Then they're going to go to Southpaw's birthday party. There's a tailgate being hosted by our friends, Chicago Sports Bums, along with the Sox on 35th crew. And go to that. And then I heard a rumor he's not even going to go to the game. He's got another obligation after the family party. So picking up bobbles that people left, I don't think it's going to be that likely for him. So it's going to be a rare up where he's not going to grab them from the seats.
You know what this is?
What's this?
This is the game when we were watching when Zambrano got thrown out of the game in the first inning.
Yeah.
But the live line was still up
And we bet it.
And we bet the under strikeouts.
Yes.
We're past posting on this one. We already know.
We already know what's
White Sox summer won't be there.
It was a great question until we knew the answer already.
Right.
This is happening.
But to follow up with Jerry's question, how many over under 4.5 bobbles is he gonna have from the 108 game? In
Oh.
November? How many people are buying tickets to get your guys' bobbles, but they forget them?
I mean, that's a problem.
It's a drinking crowd.
Yeah.
And we're going to be starting early with the patio party. I mean, that could be a lot. There's going to be a lot of people. Oh my God, I left my bobble. Who got it? Like, who recovered
Oh,
it?
we know who got it.
Who's
You
out
can go
there?
on eBay and buy it back.
They're available, market price.
I mean, like the old Maxwell Street. Your hubcaps got robbed. Don't worry, the guy's selling it right over there.
Get it back easily. All right, great question, Jerry. Next up is another long-time guy. I haven't seen this guy in a long time, Pete Chapman. And Pete Chapman says, if money is coming in, would you rather have them spend the money organizationally only or for physical players in 2025 and 2026? Josh Nelson, what's your thought?
I think you should go the physical player route in 2026 because we've talked about this a lot, guys. The incoming lockout and the fact that you have started the service clock on so many of your rookies, I'm wondering if Jerry is getting a little impatient and they feel like that there might be an opportunity in 2026 to get some free agents, maybe some guys that are a little nervous about the incoming lockout.
Lock in early before all
Get
that
some
happens?
guys that maybe could get 4 or 5 year deals, but they settle for 3-year contracts. So I would say physical players because if they spend it only on debt to improve the organization, my fellow White Sox fans, we ain't going to see any of that. So might as well entertain me and go sign someone worth watching.
Treason.
So I'm gonna have this is a very more business-like approach to this. So I have a different answer, which is I would like them to pay down any debt. Because like if the HBS could wipe out the debt that's here, that's the thing that hamstrings, right?
Yeah, the debt service is always a problem. That's your other bill.
You're paying nothing.
Yeah.
You're paying for nothing.
Right.
And if they can just knock that out, you stop paying for nothing. But what I would like to then see is more stuff like they did in the Dominican, right? Like start using if you're going to consume more debt and say like now we can take on a different type of loan, a different loan somewhere else. Start building these academies in different places and like really build up all the infrastructure over the next couple of years. Then go through the lockout, see what happens, and then on the other side start to really build it out.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of my thought too. Treasy is like Brian Bannister was just on 6-7 Score talking about their wonderful lab that they got in Arizona. Yes, continue pushing money down those paths and figuring out how to use it. And right now, you're at such a spot where you can try a lot of shit with no consequences. The team, like, look at how happy the White Sox fans were last night to get our 21st fucking win. All right, and it's like people are elated. You have a window right now where the people that are still tuning in are satisfied with that. Those little incremental gains, where in the background you could be gaining a lot. Now, where I was thinking about spending on players in 2025 and 2026, yeah, if you could spend money to get Andrew Benintendi the fuck out of here. Yeah, that sounds good.
That's a good idea.
Like I think there are some opportunities there, or to poach a player who maybe is on a contract that a team wants to get rid of. Maybe you can get a haircut on that. Like Josh is mentioning, like his thought is buy some discounts, right? And I think there's going to be available. It's a great point with regards to the players getting nervous with the lockout coming up and wanting to get into contracts. Like there's some opportunities here, and the HBOs are buying an asset that's at a low point right here. Yes, $2 billion or whatever dollar valuation. You do this shit right, this thing will be worth $5 billion, and I think they realized.
You know, another idea to tag along with you guys, the Kannapolis Cannonballers are the only minor league team that's not part of this new conglomerate under the White Sox umbrella. If the Ishbias bought Kannapolis, then you can duplicate what you have in Arizona easily with Kannapolis instead of signing these 10-year agreements, because you don't know if Birmingham's going to be your AA affiliate forever.
Right.
Or Charlotte's your AAA affiliate. But if you got Kannapolis, your A-ball, you could draft more high schoolers and build a lab there.
Yeah, right.
We got a slow train. We got a slow train coming.
I love the slow train, baby.
Oh, man.
Slow train is like Soul Train.
It's going to be
Is it going or parking?
87 minutes it's going to take.
108 Morton's not abused. I can see right now. He's like, let me the fuck in the house.
There's no way StreamYard is even catching our voices.
No, it's blocking everything out, I think. That's what it's done last time when the trains come through.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Sammy Davis Jr. 5K says, which closed Bridgeport bar would you guys bring back? And he lists Punchinello's, Treskillian's, Redwood Lounge, First Base, aka Free Base, or other. You can bring back another one. Josh Nelson, I'll start with you.
Well, we do have some insight. It sounds like Redwood is coming back, that there is a website and they are hiring, and they've been going to the alderman's office to get their license and to restore that. Redwood would be excellent because so we got Electric Funeral, we got Remova on that side of Halstead. We got Maria's on the other side of Bridgeport. We need something.
Shout it, baby.
We need something by you guys because Shy Sox bars always close.
It's true.
We need something in the middle of Bridgeport other than Bernice's, right? That's on Halstead. So I vote for Redwood Lounge.
Redwood Lounge. How about you, Treezon? Would you give me another lime and salt?
So I mean, the real answer is Shallows, right? That's probably the real good answer.
Yeah, Shallows.
But that's not where he's going with it.
No, it's not.
I would vote for Charlotte because that's right by.
Yeah, it's easy for you. Huh?
So I'm going a different route.
Okay.
I'm going a different route. We're going to reopen Winslow's. We're going to reopen Winslow's. There might be a couple stabbings aside. Good chicken.
Fried chicken.
Good chicken.
Good fried chicken. Good late night fried chicken. Absolutely.
4 a.m. bar with fried chicken.
You're going to start a fried chicken war here. Is what you're going to start.
I don't care.
How dare you, man?
Where was Winslow's?
Oh, it's like it was back on like what was used to be Little Troop, right? Like back.
Yeah.
Like, they built all kinds of nice houses back then.
In and around it, yeah.
This shit was like the most shameful place to go as an adult in our neighborhood.
It would need a new footprint. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I'm all for bringing Punchinello's back, man. Because I would love to see people that I went to grade school with fight there. I mean, that was an old school bar. It's right there. Was right there on 31st and Wells. I mean, we were old enough, Treasy, to have gone there.
Yeah.
But just right at the tail end. It kind of like petered out right when we were.
Short. Came up short. There's a pineapple for you.
Thank you.
Oh,
so we also know a story of a guy. We won't name names, but he sometimes watches. So I hope he can verify this story. But he was sitting at the bar apparently, and like some guy said some. And now this guy's a strong guy.
Correct. Or what? He was a guy who was big into weightlifting.
Big weightlifter.
Yeah.
And someone said some shit to him that he did not like.
Not at all.
And apparently, and this is the days of glass pitchers. He grabbed a glass pitcher off of a tray coming by and smashed it over the guy's head. We need more of that.
We might miss that element.
I'm liking some of the new places that are coming in. We're getting some beautiful cocktail bars and stuff. A little too hipster. We gotta keep some of our roots here.
Yeah, old school shot and beer places where someone might get their ass kicked if they don't shut the fuck up.
That's why I think Electric Funeral does a good mix there. Yeah, we'll keep those fights outside.
That's
in front of the tent.
You got to respect the joint. That's right. Yeah, you can't. No disrespect. All right, next up is JT, and JT says, "What debt does Jerry have?" Wrong answers only. It's okay if I start.
Go for it.
Okay, here's the first thing that came to mind. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Rosebud had closed down both over there on in the Viagra Triangle and then at Taylor Street.
What?
It suddenly has opened back up, and I think the Ishmaels maybe have paid off a long-standing Jerry tab at the place that he. So I'm gonna assume debt number one fucking tab at Rosebud. He's like Joe Pesci and Goodfellas. He ran his tab up too high and had to take control of the restaurant. But now that's back. I also think he probably has like a very old. Back when he was trying to dress more hip and everything in the day when they were taking over the team, an old JCPenney credit card that just never got paid off. And the interest has been climbing, man. And the debt service is fucking killing the White Sox, man. We can't even afford. I mean, like, that's why the beers are so expensive right now.
See, I think you're on the right track that it's a little bit older. It's a little bit since it's an accumulated debt.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about casino.
Okay.
He was tell me fucking gamble the most.
Okay, yeah.
Hawks long-standing gambling debts have been dragging the org down. We had no idea. And that's why Brooks was like, you got to get Hawk out of here. He's gambling it all away.
That's why they made Brooks the fall guy. It's like, oh, Brooks puts me out here. No, too gambling. Too much money out there.
Gambling.
Go put the fucking heat on.
So Jerry is known that if he likes a car, a Cadillac, he buys two, one for Chicago, one in Arizona.
Oh.
He loves this Cadillac so much. My guess is that he bought 100 of them. So he always drives his Cadillac no matter the year. So if one breaks down, he just dumps it. And he's got a new Cadillac. The depreciation is dropping so low.
It's like my blue heaven. Why you got 100 cars? In case I want to drive it more than once.
Yeah. Exactly. That's beautiful.
The real answer. Jerry Reinsdorf, big Tim Scott fan. And big into super PACs.
Oh, see, there you go.
Yeah.
That's where the money's at. Right there.
Literally.
We need to start a super PAC.
We should. We should.
You know, I screwed up, and my guy Bull texts me all the time. Back before they had all the when the AAU stuff was just starting to get big, and you had the travel basketball teams. We floated around putting a travel basketball team here in Bridgeport, and we never went ahead and did it. And he's like, "We should be retired on that money right now. we should have made so much fucking money coaching a travel basketball team in Bridgeport.
Yeah.
We missed it. We missed our time.
Yeah.
We could have killed with that shit. All right, next up, English Sox Colin, who's quite the ball buster to me usually. He's coming after Treasy this time. He says, "What has Treasy gotten away with that the general pop are unaware of?" I mean, I'll tread lightly here, and I won't say exactly, but I'll just tell you that a long time ago in White Sox Twitter, content was pretty popular. There was a group that stepped on our toes pretty hard for a specific thing or two, and Treasy told my Sox Summer and I, we're freezing them out. Don't go on any of their fucking shit. We're going to ignore every tweet that they ever put out or whatever. And so he froze the fuck out of another group for a while. And yeah, you probably wouldn't recognize it now, but back then there was like kind of a little competition, and now there really isn't. So that's what Treasy is capable of. So tread lightly around a Treasy, if you will.
Now I'm wrapping my head around. I don't know who this group is.
I'll tell you later.
I think I have a.
What else do you think Treasy's gotten away with? Because he, White Sox Sal puts it out there all the time. You're more Teflon than Rick Hahn is. You get no shade towards you. Me and MSS take all the shrapnel. You get absolutely fucking nothing. But everyone knows you're a low-key bad guy, but there's nothing out there.
I'm going to borrow Jerry's over under 4.5 homicides by Treasy during his days on the punk tour and pre-quarantine. That's key. There's a Treasy in the past that we maybe only Beef knows about.
Fuck, if there had been no quarantine, the Treasy in the past be dead. But it's a pretty safe bet. He hadn't even tried to deny it. He's like, yeah, probably.
I'm just thinking of when.
Much better place now.
I got no comment on this. I think I pretty Colin. I'll say, you think I might do bad things in the background. I'm a very good person. I'm loving. And I've never talked shit about it.
Not once, not 3 inches from the person, nothing. Never, ever.
I can't.
We're gonna get the water wings in here. That's gonna drown in the back.
You know what? Though, I will confess to a crime I committed.
Okay.
We were in New York.
Yeah.
Yes. Late night.
Statute of limitations are over.
Late night. We were buying some beer.
Correct.
I thought we were being overcharged at the bodega that we were at.
Yeah.
I stole a candy bar.
Remember that? You come rolling out, you have beer. Now in a bodega, it's incredibly expensive. So we put like $100 in there to get like 3 12-packs or whatever. You come out with this beer and you go, Pat, look what I did. And you pull the candy bar. I'm like, you fucking stole a candy bar. We spent that much money. What's wrong with you? That was a good trip. That was a good bachelor party trip.
That was the most delicious candy bar I've ever eaten. If any kids are watching, those taste better. Stolen ones taste better.
All right, next up is Baloney. And Baloney says, in honor of Southpaw's 21st birthday, build your 5-man flip cup team, including yourself and 4 mascots of any sport. I'll tell you guys, I don't know mascots that well.
I don't think we know enough mascots. So I think
just build one team.
We'll do a little round the horn here. And I was thinking about something though with this.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Gritty's on the team, so we'll just put
Gritty's
in there.
Yeah,
but so we'll each pick one. But dexterity is important.
True.
And if you look at the different leagues, basketball's where it's at. basketball is generally
Yeah.
where it's at. And so I was thinking Benny the Bull.
Yeah.
But throw all that away. Who's the handsiest mascot in all of sports? The San Diego Chicken. Good or bad? I'm not saying what he's done in the past is good.
Allegedly.
But I bet he could flip that cup.
I bet you
A
could.
lot of dexterity.
A lot of flipping.
I'm taking the San Diego Chicken. But I want to leave it out there about the basketball thing for you guys if it's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Josh.
So instead of dexterity, I'm going to go with experience.
Okay.
Bernie the Brewer.
Oh shit, that's a
Bernie.
Good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, Bernie Olympic Flip Cup champion.
Now, here's the thing. I feel we're being set up because, this is not, I know Teresi and I, we went to college, but this was 10,000 years ago, and we didn't go to colleges where it was like, we're away for school. We were trying to hustle through college so we could get a fucking job.
Yeah.
It was a different era for us. So we're not as experienced with some of these drinking games. So we're getting set up to lose. So what I want is a little pageantry. I want a little excitement. And so, Teresi, correct me if I'm wrong. It was the Denver Nuggets mascot that passed out on the line coming down and just like was that's who I want on our team. All right. Anyone can make some shit up. They can pass out and pretend they're dead and we win by default or some shit.
The problem is from that scenario, we know it easily passes out. So we got to go fast. We got to win. We got to win right away. Got to win right away.
All right. Up next is Ian. Ian says, and this is a longer question, so hang with me here. Is there any chance?
It's like talking to him in the seats.
It's the whole inning.
It's 2-2 in the bottom of the eighth. Luis Roberts up is like, hey, this is about time I'm going to break into a 5-minute story for you. Thanks.
Turn around, watch the game, asshole. No, it says, is there any chance this ownership is like this ownership plan is like a rent-to-own scenario, where if the HBOs want to spend now on players, etc., they can like use that as a down payment for money off of the future purchase.
So no, that's because
I'll hand it over to you guys. Go ahead.
I can say you got to think of these as two separate things, right? Like even if he's paying down the debt, you would still then have to, when he's buying the shares from everybody, alter how he's buying the shares. And the people that are selling him the shares, other than Reinsdorf, don't really give a shit about him paying down the debt. Like they just want whatever they're going to get out of theirs, right?
Correct, yeah.
Like so. I don't see the Reinsdorfs going, if you pay down the debt right now, we'll change the valuation that we're going to accept at the end for the shares. So like, these are just two very, very separate things. You're not going down from the 2.2 billion number, right? Like so that's, and especially the minority owners, right? Like they're there to get that money. Like that's the end game for them. So yeah, no, it's gonna be kind of separate.
Now the rent to own, let me pitch this it a different way, since we have an accountant here in the hot tub. What if Justin Ishbia, along with his brother and his father through the investment company, decided we are going to privately build a stadium on Project 78, and we will lease that stadium to Jerry Reinsdorf of the Chicago White Sox, so that business pays us rent. And then when we own ownership, we are just literally paying ourselves. You have two separate business entities. So when you do concerts and everything, that flows into one business, and the White Sox are still separate.
They absolutely could do that. And my impression, my tinfoil hat, was that was what they were doing with the Dominican Academy. Now, no one has ever told me that, but like a Dominican Academy, if you Google it, costs $15 to $20 million to build. My thought was Jerry Reinsdorf suddenly going to spend that money on it. To me, it felt like the Ishbias were like, well, we're in now. We'll build it. We'll lease it back to the White Sox. And then when we take over, obviously we can either buy it, absorb it, or whatever. So I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And that's where I thought the whole move happening when it happened, I think Jerry Reinsdorf does it still announces Jerry as king, right? And all the press releases. But he also realizes like his personal fading stock. He is not one of the big players like he used to be. And so he needs the financial mirth, the power that these younger guys are going to bring on and be part of the thing. And I think there's probably a level of, he probably wants to mentor them too, into like, hey, you're not part of the club yet, but here, let me bring you in with the club. And along with that, they can come along and do all of these things. And truth be told, putting money in on something which they have a fixed price in the future, it's nothing but gravy for them, effectively, right? I mean, like you can look at it like, oh, they could have walked away from it in 2034 if they want to. but I think it's highly unlikely just given the situation.
Does it
So,
make
If
sense?
I'm making the biggest guess on your idea, I think that they buy the guaranteed rate or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it's called now from the state.
The state
start there.
state needs money, so they would sell it. To
Yeah, they would sell to it. Not at an expensive price, I would guess. Get out from under their debt as well. So,
But does it make sense to start creating a conglomerate? Because you suddenly have your investment firm, you'd have the White Sox,
you'd
you
have
have the
a
stadium.
you'd have a different entity that probably owns the stadium.
the other thing is too, if they did it in that fashion, it would be easier for them to set up a fund that says, okay, just own the stadium, and with their connections in PE, they can get limited partners from all over the place,
Yeah.
exposures to anything, and I don't know how the approval process works, but if it's just a stadium, I don't know that they would need kind of the MLB approval to get in on that MLB ownership because they wouldn't be part of it. They would be owning just a building basically. So I don't know how that would work, and if they'd have like a lot broader group to choose from and that didn't have to be approved. So there might be an angle there. I think
that's enough commercial real estate for the Sunday morning.
Sorry about that.
Let's jump into another question.
All right. Next up is our guy, Rudolph Marisic. He's actually from the neighborhood. I was DMing with him. He's a little bit older than us, Treasy. He went to St. Jerome. He goes, when do you guys come out to Colorado to jinx the Rockies? We were, my Sox Summer and I interviewed Sam Anderson on Thursday on the One Way podcast, and people in the comments were asking Sam, is he going to have to chase down the Rockies now because they're going to have the lowest amount of wins? He said maybe. He said he might have to go to Denver. MSF was trying to get in there to get us included in the package. He thought maybe a ticket to the game, but we'd have to get there on our own.
I think if they're chasing at the end, we might have to go out.
We might have to go out
there. But what I will say is we will not be there for the 4th of July series.
No.
But I was concerned that the Rockies and White Sox are playing each other on the 4th of July. It seems like the thing that could end the country.
Josh, what do you think?
It will be a future road trip, but to also Teresa's point, back to a previous question, what does the general population don't know about? He doesn't trust a lot of you. The altitude, lots of alcohol.
Yeah.
That's where he thinks someone's going to die.
And other
not
stuff.
Pass out and not make it to the game. We've already had that happen. But
I have pushed off that trip the many times it's been suggested.
Yeah, he really has. He went ahead of it.
But no, Mexico City, I'll let all you motherfuckers try it out there.
Well, we can kidnap. That's just fun, Don't worry about all that shit.
it's a game.
All right, let's close it out here with longtime guy K-Dog, and he's not even on Twitter X anymore. He texted me this question. It was good to hang out with him on Tuesday at the game. He says, if we had the same quality cameras on our phones in 2005 as we have now, which member of the 2005 White Sox would have had a sex tape leaked?
Easy. Wanaribe.
I didn't even go Coke can first.
Right. You know why? Because there would be this rumor. You would hear about the rumor, and then Juan one night be like, you know what? I'm just going to confirm it. And then bam, there you go.
They haven't come up with a camera that shoots a wide enough angle.
You need a whole team
to get
that on your phone. Exactly. You're going to obscure that a little bit. Treasy, what do you think?
GoPro.
Then give me one of them limes. We need one of them. Thank you, baby.
You know what?
Appreciate you.
It's going to be Tadahito Oguchi. It's going to be blurred out. If you know, you know.
Who was the Yankees player that had the huge porn collection?
Oh, yeah.
Hideki Matsui.
Yeah.
Hideki Matsui had a legendary porn collection.
Yeah. Like, in fact, it was like he
a
was
cameo, perhaps?
He was
just in the background. Like,
he was very open about it too.
Yeah.
And like he would like had it on display in his house. And
he is the porn guy.
And he would
My Sox Summer's a huge pussy for not being a porn guy. Hideki Matsui, he is the porn guy.
My Sox Summer aspires to be Godzilla.
Yeah, I think you guys are thinking along the wrong path here. 2005, the White Sox are the toast of the town.
Oh,
I'm thinking young guy.
Okay.
Out of control guy who just like fucking really eating it up, doing every fucking thing. Guy, and comes here kind of middle of the year, becomes the closer out of nowhere, and he's
that's a good
Bobby
call.
Jenks is the guy who's going to be in the fucking illicit sex tape that is leaked because he'd be out of control in this. There you go, Josh.
Thank you.
The problem is 2006 would have been a better one.
Yeah.
2006 would have been better.
I know that's what I wanted to.
I thought of another answer.
Oh, let's hear it.
Aaron Rowan. 2005, big goatee.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
And when I visited Chicago, went to the Red Sox White Sox game that season. Unfortunately, I did have a goatee, and I had many people complimenting me in Chicago because of Aaron Rowan. So
Here, yeah.
But I will say though, seeing more of Aaron Rowan over the years, and it's kind of like he's got like a little like hippie-ish vibe to him. I don't want a 7-hour tantric sex. And I ain't got time. I ain't got time for that.
I'm sure the ladies would love it. He loved diving head first. So.
It's no question.
Let's end it on that. Thanks
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.
We'll
See
see
you
you at the park.
Thanks to Cork and everyone, and we'll see you when I can turn this off. Yes.